Andy's not a salesman. Most of you probably figured that out. So when he came home one day and said, I've been doing pretty good on my crosswind landings, I said, what are you talking about? And he says, well, I've been going up on all these free flights. You know, those little coupons you can rip out of magazines for a free half-hour flight. I've got everyone out of every magazine. Now they're making me pay because they know my face. And he even started going over to Tacoma Industrial because they didn't know his face was there. and I said, what are you talking about? He said, well, I'm doing pretty good. I can land these little tiny airplanes in a crosswind, and I think maybe I want to be a pilot. And so we went around and finally figured out that, well, there's an academy in Florida, Comair Academy, that takes kids that already have their 4-year college degree and gets them right through. It's the fastest way to get to an airline seat. So we agreed to that, and he decided he got into. We went down there and kind of interviewed them just to make sure they were a safe operation. And they were. They looked pretty legitimate. And so he came home and he packed up his little, what was that Japanese car you had? That
CRX.
A CRX. He put every piece of clothes and all his shoes and all his everything he owned in the world.
A pot in a pan.
Yeah, pot in a pan in the CRX. He's going to have to be there for a year and a half, maybe 2 years. And it's like up to the top of the windows, all the way on back seat, front seat, trunk. There was just enough room for him to get in the car. And he drove that to Minnesota to see Notre Dame friends, and then down to Florida and made it and got started flying. Earned all his ratings from he started down there with his private rating all the way up to a multi-engine instrument instructor. And then if you do well and interview there, you can get a job. So he did another year flying all the little airplanes and eventually started instructing in the multi-engine airplanes. And if you do well, you can apply at Comair and they will give you a job. He finally got a job up in Cincinnati. And then he started out there in Cincinnati as a co-pilot. You know, you're still earning starvation wages. And then finally made captain at Comair after many years. And then when he made captain, he gave me this. Yeah. Bye-bye now. Goodbye. He's that captain. He doesn't know who the hell you are when he's saying bye-bye to you. Here, Andy, I put new batteries in it. You can use it. After Comair, Michelle's not here, but she works at Alaska, and we were able to maybe grease the skids a little bit to get them an interview at Alaska.
It's better to know people than to be good.
Yeah. I didn't know anybody when I was trying to get on with an airline. It took me a few extra years. My timing was always bad, but Andy's timing has been good. Got on with Alaska, and 9.5 years after Alaska, and many years after originally going to Florida. He's now took a bid in Seattle. He's a captain. He's back on reserve, you know, but he's flying in that left seat, and his first trip was with a Nugget, a guy that had been hired this summer. And they're going back to JFK. And I asked Andy, I said, well, does this guy, has he ever been into JFK? It's pretty busy. But they did fine, they made it back.
We're still not sure how.
Well, he didn't have to see the chief pilot. That's always the trick, is when you come home, if the chief pilot's not waiting for you, you did good. Anyway, I'd like to toast to Andy for making captain after all these years. I'm very, very proud of him. Thank you.
I think we need to get you a beer.
I'd like to thank everybody for being here, and it's been a team effort. And the team's here. It's been supporting my wife through the years of reserve as a first officer. It's been supporting our family, and I'd like to thank everybody for being part of that over all these years. So thank you very much for being here. It's, like I said, it's been a team effort. So thank you.
There's heavier nerves behind these people right back there, so help yourself.